What's up, guys? It's your boy Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Barcelona versus Napoli in the second leg of the round 16 in the Champions League. I cannot put into words how much the future of this club for the next few months will ride on this game. My heart drops thinking about getting knocked out. The catastrophe, the media circus, the future of Xavi and the players will be absolutely on the floor. But if we progress to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, we're going to be on a high. The positivity is going to be through the roof. Everyone's going to be happy. This game has so much implications. It is a game that will definitely 100% define our entire season. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9 p.m. local time, so your regular kickoff time in the Champions League, but be mindful, of course, of the daylight saving times that have changed. It has changed in North America, but it hasn't changed in Europe yet, so be mindful of that a little bit. And this match will be taking place at the Lluís Companys Stadium in Montjuic. We are expecting, of course, a full house for this game, so no doubt the culés, the local socios, will turn out for this game. The question is, will the players? And the referee for this match has also been confirmed. On the pitch, it will be the experienced Dutch referee Denny Makele, and on the VAR, it will be Rob Dupperink, who is also, of course, from the Netherlands as well. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Napoli. Of course, Napoli over the past 10 years have been an absolutely brilliant team pushing for Serie A this season. This season, though, as defending Scudetto champions, they've been woeful. They're currently sitting in 9th place. They've been through 3 managers this season. But over the past month, they are on a bit of a remontada. And the last time we did face them, of course, was in the first leg of the round 16 of the Champions League at the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium, where we did draw the game, of course, 1-1. You can see the lineup that we did use on the screen on the right hand side. Of course, 2 of the starting players out injured since this game. It was a match where Barcelona absolutely dominated, I would say, the first hour. After the last half an hour was all Napoli. Barcelona were under the cosh, but in that first hour we did dominate. We missed so many chances. I remember the Lamine Yamal chance, the Gundogan chance, the Lewandowski chance before, of course, he scored. Napoli did not have a sniff. They had one little ball over the top where I think Inigo Martinez makes a mistake. Osimhen's 1v1 with Ter Stegen, he puts it in the back of the net. So a game that you could definitely say Barcelona should have won, but in the end, Napoli, I think, snatched a draw, and you could say, based on the balance of play, a draw isn't too much fair of a result. But again, definitely Barcelona were the better side in this game. Now, since this match, Napoli have played 4 games in all competition. We're going to take a look at those 4 games. They drew 1-1 with Cagliari. They beat Sassuolo 6-1. They beat Juventus 2-1, and they drew 1-1 with Torino. Keep in mind, their match against Torino was also played on Friday, so there's no extra rest for either side, even though Barcelona weirdly played on a Friday. So did Napoli as well. But let's take a look in depth more at their last 3 matches in all competition. Firstly is their first win under the new manager, where they did win 6-1 away at Sassuolo. You can see the lineup on the right hand side that was used in this game. I wouldn't say Napoli dominated. They were just so clinical in this game. I think they had a total of 8 or 9 chances, 6 goals. I mean, you can't discredit them. I would see the scoreline maybe flatters the performance a tiny bit. I don't think they absolutely battered Sassuolo. They were just beyond clinical, especially in the final third, but a huge win for them, and definitely something that will help them with their confidence going into the next big game, which of course was against Juventus. On paper, difficult game for them. Juventus somewhat were in a title race, but now of course pretty much dead at that point. Of course, it has been that rivalry of Napoli and Juventus over the past 7 years or so in Serie A. Juventus were coming in as the favorites, and Napoli won 2-1. Big win for them at the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium. I have to say this though, Juventus battered them. Juventus were the better side in this game. Dusan Vlahovic, the striker for Juventus, should have had a super hat-trick. Missed 4 clear-cut chances. Took a Kvaratskhelia goal in the past the 80th minute to kind of clinch the win for them. I think it was 1-0 to Napoli. They brought it back to 1-1 Juventus with Vlahovic scoring, and then 2-1. I watched this game. Napoli were okay, but Juventus were on top, creating chances left, right, and center, but they didn't finish their dinner, and Napoli did. Definitely this game, the scoreline does flatter Napoli a little bit. I would say at least Juventus, based on their performance, deserved the draw, but hey, it comes down who puts the ball in the back of the net, and Napoli did it more. Now, their final match in all competition was, of course, the 1-1 draw against Torino at home. Disappointing result for them. Torino not too, not the best side in Serie A. Of Kvaratskhelia first, they put Napoli 1-0 up. Then counterattack right from kickoff from Torino. They drew 1-1. It was actually the former Barcelona striker Sarabia, I think it is, Antonio Sarabia or something like that. He scored some crazy bicycle kick that ended up, ending the game in a 1-1 draw. Now, in the lineup, you can see on the right-hand side there with Alex Mera in goal, Di Lorenzo, you have Leo and Juan Jesus, Mario Rui, Anguissa, Locobeyu, Zielinski, Politano, Victor Osimhen, Kvaratskhelia. We will see a very, very similar lineup to this. We could see Rahmani come in at center back and maybe a different midfielder depending on what the manager selects, because I think Zielinski is kind of banned from Champions League because he's going to be going to Juventus on a free transfer. Kind of weird. He can play in Serie A, but they don't really play him in other competitions for some sort of reasons in the big game, so it speaks. Maybe 2 changes at most from this lineup, but it's still a very similar system. The 4-3-3, the pure wingers, the front three of Osimhen, Politano, Kvaratskhelia is what we will expect in tomorrow's game. I think from this lineup, 1 or 2 changes at the absolute max. So that's going to be the team they're going to be looking out for tomorrow. But again, this match, they were a bit underwhelming, and a game that they should have got 3 points, but only walked away with 1 point. So overall, final thoughts on Napoli. They're of course a very good side on paper, and since Francesco Calzona has come in as the new manager in the first leg against Barcelona, they have, I think, played 4 games, 2 draws, 2 wins, including of course the match against Barcelona makes it, I think, 3 draws and 2 wins. So they're undefeated under this new manager, and they're playing a bit better, of course, since I think they had Rudi Silva and Materazzi as well. So there has been a bit of improvement, but I wouldn't say nothing tactically wise or game wise that I would be worried about. I would be worried about, of course, is the personnel. You're talking about brilliant players like Osimhen, Politano, Kvaratskhelia, Locobeyu in the midfield as well with Anguissa, Mario Rui and Di Lorenzo are strong fullbacks, Rahmani, Juan Jesus, Alex Mera, not too bad of a goalkeeper. They have options off the bench as well. It's a very, very strong team, and again, these are players that are well touted in Europe as well, and on their day they can definitely do damage. They know for a fact they're coming as the underdogs in this game, coming to the home of Barcelona as well. I mean, not really our home, but we are on a home field, so to speak, so they're going to be coming in with that bone to pick as well. For Barcelona, it just comes down to, again, what we did in the first leg. Dominate them in the middle of the park, control the possession, keep the play where we want to keep it in the middle. It's just going to come down who finishes their chances. Honestly, I think in terms of skill sets and what we've gone through this season for both sides, this match is kind of 50-50. Maybe I just edged to Barcelona a little bit because we have been playing a bit better recently since Xavi announced his resignation, but it's going to be a close game. It's going to come down to, honestly, who finished their chances on the night, and it could be Napoli. They have been clinical. We've seen them, of course, score the 2 goals against Juventus, the 6 goals against Sassuolo. They have been showing that. The question now is, will they replicate it in this match? It's definitely not, an impossible feat, but again, under Calzona, they have a bit more of a structure, and he's implementing them that fast attacking counter-attack style of play, so to speak, in their game. So we'll wait and see how that turns out. But again, it's a scary team when they're on their day. The question is, will that be tomorrow? Now, with this being a home game, the squad list will probably not come out until tomorrow, but to be honest, we're not expecting any big changes. Javi Miguel from AS came out saying that all signs indicate that Raphinha is not injured and he will 100% be ready to go for the match tomorrow against Napoli. Same with Lamine Yamal. Both had a bit of knocks after the Mallorca match on Friday, but both fine. They both trained over the past few days with no problems. Ferran Torres will be training today, and then today we'll see whether or not he can be in the squad list. So we might see Ferran get the medical green light today or tomorrow, but if he does, he's not going to start. Maybe come off the bench last 10 minutes, best case scenario. But of course, with this being a knockout round, we do have to watch out for yellow card suspensions. There are 4 players who are at jeopardy of a yellow card suspension. If they get a yellow card in this match, they will be suspended for a hypothetical, hopefully, quarterfinals game in the first leg. And those 4 players are Ferran Torres, João Felix, Sergio Roberto, and the big one, Ronald Araujo. If any 4 of them get a yellow card in this game and we qualify for the next game in the quarterfinals first leg, they will be suspended for that game. Now this morning, Xavi and Marc-Andre ter Stegen faced the media ahead of the game against Napoli. Unfortunately, in this video, I cannot cover it. I am pre-recording this before the press conference. I'm fasting now. The timing doesn't really work. The time changed here in Toronto, Canada, but not in Spain, and so it's been difficult for me to make this one, and I couldn't in the end. But I will link down below my articles on blaugrana where I'll be covering the whole entire quotes from the press conference. If you are interested, I will pin the comment when I wake up. I'll write the article and I'll pin it down in the comments down below if you are interested. That should come out maybe a few hours after I upload this video. But again, since it is a Champions League, a player will always accompany the manager. Ter Stegen was selected, and him and Xavi will face the media this morning. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Xavi Hernandez. I'm going to try my best to predict this lineup. I think you can pretty much guarantee 8 players or so. There is, I would say, 1 to 2 question marks for the lineup selection, but I think that Xavi will go with this lineup on the screen right now. He'll go with Marc-Andre ter Stegen in goal, a back 4 of Koundé, Cubarsí, Araujo, and João Cancelo, midfield 3 of Christensen, Gundogan, and Raphinha, and a front 3 of Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, and João Felix. The question mark is in 2 positions. Number 1, who will play alongside Araujo? Will it be Inigo Martinez or will it be Cubarsí? It's going to be Cubarsí. He had an absolute masterclass against Mallorca, played well against Getafe as well, post the Napoli game where Inigo hasn't been the greatest, didn't play too well against Getafe, and didn't even play particularly well, in my opinion, against Mallorca. So I think that Xavi will give the nod to the 17-year-old to start in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Big decision. Second one, of course, is in the midfield. Will it be Raphinha or will it be Fermin Lopez? I think it's going to be Raphinha. Honestly, if Fermin Lopez was playing at least somewhat decently, he could have a shout. Against Mallorca, came on with an hour for Raphinha. Didn't particularly do well, in my opinion, and of course against Bilbao had an absolute stinker, one of the worst performances I've seen this season. So I think he will give the nod to Raphinha. My only downside with this lineup, very attacking. Well, of course in a game where you want to go and get goals, but again, defensive wise, it needed a big performance from Christensen and defensive work a lot from Gundogan as well. But this lineup, no doubt, can definitely beat Napoli. If Fermin Lopez is selected in the midfield, I would suspect that Raphinha would start on the right ahead of Lamine Yamal. I don't think we'll see either of them on the left. I think João Felix is pretty much guaranteed on the left. João Felix, big game player, of course, all that sort of stuff. I think there is going to be a question mark if Xavi does decide to go with Fermin Lopez in the midfield. Will he go with Raphinha or Lamine Yamal on the right? That's going to be a big decision, and that's why, to avoid that big decision, I think that Xavi will go with Raphinha in the midfield, and that's the line I think that Xavi Hernandez will select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Xavi will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was the Barcelona coach. Not going to be around the bush here. Super quickly, I have picked the same lineup as Xavi. There was a few thinking points for me. I was thinking about, maybe Roberto in the midfield. But I'm like, you know what? This man has not played a single second in the past 5 games. I'm not starting him in a quarterfinal, round of 16 of the Champions League. My second one was considering putting Victor Roque on the left for João Felix, but I didn't for 2 reasons. One, Roque has been playing too much from the start, so I didn't want to really risk him. Again, round 16 of the Champions League. Secondly, João Felix in big games is what he thrives for. So, I mean, that's pretty much one of the only reasons why he's done well this season. In the big games, he tends to turn up, so I'm just going to really be banking on that. But anything other from this lineup between myself and Xavi, honestly, I would be a big surprise. Again, I would definitely go with Cubarsí ahead of Inigo Martinez as well, based on recent form. And that's the lineup that I selected for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you agree with my lineup and Xavi's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I am fairly confident that Barcelona will qualify for the quarterfinals of the Champions League. It's really just based on how. Will we go and absolutely clatter them and beat them 3-0, 4-0, 5-0? Will it be a ropey game where we score early on and just defend for our lives? Will it be a back and forth high scoring game? I've got Barcelona win this game by 2-0. I think it will be very comfortable in the sense that the high intensity will be there, the nerves will be there. I think we'll get a goal in the first half, maybe past the 25th minute, go into halftime 1-0, second half, get the second goal, and then just sit back and soak up all the pressure. We are having, of course, We got 3 clean sheets in a row. We had the clean sheet against Mallorca, Getafe, and we had the 0-0 against Bilbao as well. So 3 clean sheets in a row. I think we will continue that streak and make it forward. I do see Napoli scoring, but it's just down to, I think, more so them finishing than us defending well. I think if they're clinical on the night, there's nothing stopping that. I don't think the defense will really have a say in that. It'll come down to, Osimhen, Kvaratskhelia, and Politano being clinical by themselves. I don't think the defensive work will really have a massive input, but I'm fairly confident that Barcelona will qualify. Of course, if we don't, the whole entire world, from of course the Barcelona world, is going to explode. But I'm fairly confident. I have got Barcelona win this game by 2-0, but of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the scoreline will be. So that was a match preview for Barcelona versus Napoli in the Champions League. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to first see, of course, is your score prediction, and secondly, on the lineups. Do you agree with my lineup and Xavi's lineup? Do you think that Xavi will go with anything else, and what would you go with if you're the manager? Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen, come and join me and watch the game with me. It is gonna be wild, and of course follow straight after the match by my match review. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Everything rides on this. I cannot even begin to fathom how this Barcelona world, Twitter, social media, the Catalan press is gonna explode if we lose this game or get knocked out. Let's hope that isn't the case. Let's hope we can progress, move on, and have a happy day. And we have, of course, the Friday draw as well that we can look forward to. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Please, please. I cannot express how badly we have to win this game, but I do believe in the end, and hopefully you do as well. Take care, and Forza Barca.